YouTube. Okay, welcome everyone. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope that you guys are doing wonderfully today. Today's the last day of 2025. So I'm here to come with you with an amazing, this is going to be like a masterclass today. Okay, so if you have fibroids, okay, if you honestly have any womb issues, I need you to grab your lunch. I know it's like 12 p.m., Eastern Standard Time. Grab your lunch, grab your water, grab your whatever, your smoothie, and we're going to teach today, okay? We're going to teach today. We have a lot to talk about today. Get comfortable. I know some of you guys may be watching from work, which is totally fine, but I know a lot of you guys are off. This is going to be an amazing live, okay? For women that have fibroids, that are trying to leave their fibroids behind in 2025, that know that 2026 is going to be the year that they heal their fibroids. That's who I'm talking to today. I'm not talking to the women that want to stay in their condition. I'm not talking to the women that want to stay with the fibroids, that want to stay in their misery and suffering. I'm talking to the women that know, listen, I cannot go another year like this, that know a year from now they want to be healed. They want to have their wombs healed. That's who I'm talking to today, okay? So come on in. We're going to get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Happy New Year's Eve. All right. As you're coming in, let me know where you guys are watching from, whether you're watching me on YouTube, whether you're watching me on TikTok. Let me know where you guys are watching from, okay? We're about to get into it today. If you know somebody with fibroids, thank you for the likes. Thank you, Miss Ashante. Thank you, Mrs. Ashante, okay? Thank you for the likes. Michigan, okay, cash flow, Cammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love your name, okay? Michigan in the house. Where are you guys watching from? Let me know in the chat. If you're watching from YouTube, let me know as well. Where y'all are watching from, I would love to know, okay? We're going to get into it today. If you have fibroids, you need to be on this live, and you also need to share it with somebody that has fibroids, okay? It's been a while since I've been live, I know, but I'm live today. I had to come live on the last day of the year of 2025. We are literally going into a new year, new dimension, whatever you want to call it, by midnight tonight, okay? So if you want to, the women that want to change their life, they've already started taking action. They've already started preparing. They're not waiting until, oh, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. They already started on their journey, okay? So we're talking about how to leave fibroids behind in 2025, okay? Tap on, if you're watching from YouTube, from TikTok, you need to be tapping on that like button. Tap so we can push this out to more women. Tap on the screen so the algorithm can push this out to more women that need to see this today. Again, I'm talking to women that want this to be the last year that they're suffering with fibroids, that want a year from now to look up and be free from fibroids. But what you have to understand is that you have to start taking action now, okay? So if you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click that, and hold on, let me make sure I make a subscriber only that can comment on YouTube. Let me make sure I do that first before we get started. How do I do that again? It's been a while since I've been live. It's been a while. Okay, there we go. All right, subscribers only on YouTube, because we don't want any type of weirdos. Okay, so welcome. Happy New Year, Marsh. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you, Adrian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, be sure, if you're watching from YouTube, let me know where you guys are watching from as well. All right, so I'm streaming live from YouTube. I'm streaming live from TikTok. We're talking about how to leave fibroids behind in 2025. And if you're watching from YouTube, I see no likes on YouTube. Be sure to click that thumbs up button so the algorithm can push it out to more women, okay? Thank you. Yes, tap on that screen on TikTok. Let's talk about it. So, watching from TikTok. Okay, welcome, Winnie K. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy that you're here. Happy that you're here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's the last day of the year. You need this message. Okay, listen, y'all get comfortable. We have a lot to get into today. You're gonna get so much from this message. Y'all have a lot. Get comfortable. Like the video. Hey, Winnie, Happy New Year, everybody. New Year's Eve. Okay, we're going into New Year later on in a few hours, okay? So listen, during December, I did a whole bunch of private one-on-one womb healing, fibroid healing calls, right? Usually I don't do one-time consultation calls, but I did for the month of December. And I learned a lot. And some of you guys I've been reaching out to some of you guys via Messenger or DMs, and I've learned a lot. So this message is going to be targeted to women that have fibroids, that want to heal their fibroids. A lot of you guys, you spent 2020. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tweety, for the flower. I appreciate that. Hello, Classic Dame. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Welcome, ladies. A lot of you ladies spent 2025, and I know I had fibroids too. For those that are new, some of you guys are new. you're here for the first time, welcome, by the way. My name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist. In case you did not know, what I do is I help women who have fibroids dissolve their fibroids, not just shrink their fibroids, dissolve their fibroids and reverse chronic reproductive health conditions. Okay, and I do that through my womb detoxification framework that targets the root causes of fibroids, of endometriosis, of adenomyosis, of these womb conditions, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. We've had hundreds of success stories over the years. We've had women who've taken my courses, who I've worked with one-on-one, not just get rid of their fibroids, not just shrink their fibroids, eliminate their fibroids, okay? So that's what I do. I also have suffered from fibroids myself, not once, but twice, many years ago. That's why I'm so passionate. That's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this work. And I know what fibroids does to women. It's not just even just physically, also emotionally, financially, so many different things, right? So we're gonna talk about it. Here's the thing. I'm talking to women that want 2025 to be the last year that they struggle with fibroids. They want to leave their fibroids in 2025 and then embark on a journey of healing so that they can look up by this time next year and their wombs can be healed. Their wombs can be free of fibroids. That's who I'm talking to today, okay? And a lot of you guys, I've been doing the calls. You guys have been emailing me, messaging me. Okay, I'm going to get into questions real soon, Classic Dame. I'm going to answer that soon. And a lot of you guys have been researching about fibroids, right? Which is good. Research is good, don't get me wrong. But we don't want to stay there. A lot of you guys, you've been researching about fibroids. You've saved every video about fibroids, right? You've been on all the fibroid Facebook groups, right? You've gathered information. You've watched so much content on fibroids, right? And a lot of times it can be frustrating because it's conflicting information. And I get it, right? You're hearing from this person, you're hearing from that person. But here's the thing, 2026 needs to be the year you take action. It needs to be, you've gathered enough, you've researched enough. A lot of you guys have researched enough. Research is great, but it's not great when you're just staying there, okay? So today I'm gonna show you how do we leave fibroids behind in 2025? How do we leave it behind in 2025? So I said something to my email list today. I said that 2026 is the first year of the second quarter of the 21st century. So we're going into a whole new quarter of the century, okay? 2026 as a quarter is 25. So we're literally this at midnight. Not only is the year turning to 2026, we're going into the second quarter of 2020, the 21st century. Okay, you following me? So I'm gonna show you how to leave fibroids behind. Thank you for the likes. Yes, let's get the likes up. Our goal for TikTok is 10,000 likes today. We need to get it up. I'm gonna be here for a while. As a matter of fact, let's do 15,000 because I'm gonna be here for a while. Okay. This conversation is going to separate the women that's been researching, okay? Researching. It's going to separate them from the women that actually want to change their lives, want to be fibroid free, okay? Want to restore their hormonal balance, want to have their bodies feel like home again and not like you're living in a foreign body. Because when you have fibroids, and you actually have tumors growing inside of you, that's how it can feel like. I know, I've been there, okay? So let's talk about it. For those that have spent 2025 researching about fibroids, you've read the fibroid, a lot of you guys, you've read the studies, you've saved the posts, you've tried the supplements. Somebody asked about a supplement in here. Supplements don't heal. Supplements don't heal. I'm not saying not to take supplements, but they don't heal fibroids. We're talking about tumors here, right? You've bought all the herbs, and herbs are great, but they're not going to get rid of the fibroid. You have to get the foundation. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. That's what I'm about. I don't sit here and give you hacks and tricks and all that stuff that doesn't work. That's all over TikTok. And women still have fibroids following that stuff. Some of you guys have tried all of the hacks and tips and tricks about fibroids and still have the fibroids. Trust me, I've been talking to a lot of y'all in this December. That's why I've been kind of quiet in the background. Because I'm like, why are women not healing? I'm not talking about my clients. Because if you have been following me, you know we've had amazing success stories. You can look on my TikTok. You can look on my shorts on YouTube. We've had women get rid of 13 fibroids in a 6-month period. We've had a woman that worked with me for 2 months. She shrunk her fibroids from 7 centimeters all the way down to 3 centimeters. And the last time she checked was in May. So I told her by now it's probably gone. Okay, she did that in 2 months. So we had 2 women that work with me in our Detoxify Your Womb program get pregnant naturally and have babies this year in 2025. If you've been following my email list, you know I posted about that and I posted their pictures. Okay, so It's so important that you understand that you have to get to the root cause of the fibroids. Y'all can't be playing around and again, doing these hacks, and that's not what I'm here for. So if you come in here for tricks and hacks and you have to ask yourself, do I still want to keep these fibroids in 2026? You haven't worked in 2 years yet. Fibroids, unfortunately, that got to change. In 2026, that has to change. I know that fibroids can get so bad that sometimes, like you say, you can't really function in everyday life. Been there, okay? And a lot of you guys are pushing through. Even with the fibroids, you're trying to push through, and that's actually stressing your body out even more. So what has to be done? We have to start getting to the root cause of the problem and healing your body so that your body can actually can start dissolving these fibroids. You have to create an environment in your body where fibroids cannot grow, okay? So let's talk about it, okay? We don't want to be researching this. Some of y'all have been researching all year and still in the same place that you started the year with, still with the same fibroids, okay? And I said this to my email list: research without action is just procrastination dressed up as wisdom. You've read all the books, you've read all the studies, but you're not taking action. You got to implement. You have to start implementing, okay? So research, it makes you feel like you're doing something, but you're actually just staying frozen. You're not actually doing you're not implementing the information. We live in a time right now where people just like to gather information, but do absolutely nothing with it. You have to get out of that. You got to get out of that, okay? So the women who decide they are executing. That's why I said, don't wait until the clock strikes 12. Start executing. What are you putting into place right now to make sure that you're going to heal your wound? What are you putting into place right now? You have to take action. You can't just sit there and research yourself to death, right? You got to actually take action, okay? So the issue is not that you lack information, it's that you're not implementing what you're learning. You're not implementing what you learn. So if that's been you, if you've just been gathering information and doing absolutely nothing with it, okay? We have to change that, okay? So let's talk about it. What it takes to leave fibroids behind in 2025. Ladies, don't forget, like the live. Our goal is 15,000 likes on TikTok because we want to push this out to more women as possible. And if you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the thumbs up button, okay? If you're watching the replay, click the thumbs up button. Jessica, Sasha knows her stuff. Ladies, thank you, Jessica. She helped get rid of my period pain and bloating. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. Yes. If you've been working with me if you've been following me any length of time, you know our testimonials are long. They're long, okay? So I appreciate that, Jessica. Appreciate that. So what it takes to so we're going to talk about what a lot of you guys are actually doing and why it's not helping before we get to what you need to be doing, okay? So I'm sorry. Can someone from Africa consult with you? Absolutely. If you mean work with me, absolutely. I've actually had a client from Kenya before, okay? What's the best way to enhance? So I'm going to answer questions towards the end. We're going to run this like a masterclass. I'm going to answer questions, but the best way to enhance your fertility for a 42-year-old is to work on I'm going to say it real quick, work on your biological age and stop worrying about your chronological age. Balance your hormones, okay? I want to get rid of fibroids in 2026. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. We in the right place. We're talking about, so y'all read the title. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, I want to keep it on track. See the title? Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about what's not working when we talk about when it comes to fibroids. What a lot of y'all are doing that's not working. A lot of you guys are gonna be mad at me when I mention this stuff, but I'm still gonna mention it. I'm still going to mention it. The castor oil packs. I know some of you guys are swearing by that stuff and still had the fibroids. The detoxing teas, that's not gonna get y'all. We're talking about tumors here. Y'all gotta get real. There's women that have 10-centimeter tumors that are coming to me with, I've tried castor oil packs and it's not working, and I've tried a detox. Y'all gotta get serious. A random cleanse that you saw on the internet, occasional healthy eating for 2 weeks at a time, 2-3 weeks at a time, that's not working. You have to leave that behind in 2025. Leave that behind in 2025. If you're serious about healing, getting rid of your fibroids, leave that behind. Let me say that again. Leave that behind in 2025. Yes, tap, people. Thank you, Shaky. Tap. We're trying to get to 15,000 likes. We want more women in here as possible, okay? None of these are wrong. None of these remedies, the acupuncture, the yoni steaming, that's not going to get rid of the tumors. I'm not saying these things are wrong, but if you're doing them alone and you expect magic to happen, that's not gonna happen. They don't address the internal environments. Let me pin this comment. I've been using castor oil for 3 years and nothing. Because every time I make a video about castor oil, people are ready to attack. Oh, but I heard this person and it worked on this. Y'all have to get real and stop applying unicorn situations to your life. Okay? We're talking about tumors here. Some of y'all have 8-centimeter fibroids, multiple fibroids. What are you doing? Putting some oil on and pressing it on your belly is not going to get rid of fibroids. Stop. I'm not saying castor oil is bad. I'm not saying not to do it, but I'm saying actually address the root cause. Do the real work, and then you can also do the castor oil if you enjoy it. Okay? But don't think that you're going to just put some oil on your belly and magic is going to happen. Get real. Okay? In 2026, we got to get real and do the real work. I'm saying that with love. Okay? So let me save you time, money, and energy by telling you what's not going to eliminate the fibroids. Somebody asked about supplements. No. Supplements are not going to... It's not even worth it to even ask me about supplements because that's not going to do the work. It's not going to balance your hormones either. Your lifestyle is going to do the work. How you're living your life. Random detoxes. I'm not saying detoxes are bad. It's good to detox, but random detoxes and you go back to your regular lifestyle and you think that that's going to do the work. Water fasting, like all this stuff. I'm not saying they're bad. They're great tools. But they're not going to do the work to get rid of a whole entire tumor. People get mad. They do a whole 40-day water fast and still got the fibroid afterwards. Water fasting these are great tools. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about you guys. But a lot of you guys, you get mixed up and think that holistic health is just a bunch of random remedies. It's just about, is it castor oil and water fasting? Holistic health is holistic health. Integrating the physical, the mental, the emotional. That's what holistic health is. So you can't be doing random remedies that you hear about online and think that that's going to heal you. That's going to do all the work for you. That's going to get rid of the 10-centimeter fibroid. Some of y'all have 20-centimeter fibroids and you're still playing around with putting oil on your belly thinking that that's going to get rid of them. Y'all got to stop, right? The worst thing we could do is just detox and cleanse and go back to our bad habits. You know how many people, Jessica, you know how many people do that? And think that fibroids will magically go away. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this 10-day cleanse. I'm going to do this 10-day detox. And think that that's going to get rid of the fibroid. And have the fibroids right after. In 2026, we have to get real. We cannot think that microwave healing is going to work. I know you guys want to just pop a pill and get rid of the fibroids. That's not how health works. I'm going to shake you. You have to get it through your brains. That's not how it works. You don't just take a pill and the fibroids magically dissolve. Stop even wasting your time with that stuff. Okay? I know it's going to hurt some people's hearts because some of y'all bought all these supplements for 2026. You bought all these supplements and thinking that, oh, this is going to heal my fibroids. No, it's not going to do. I've been doing this for years and helped hundreds of women heal. It's not going to move the needle. You're wasting your time and energy. I'm not saying don't buy supplements, but some of y'all buy. Is your body even able to absorb these supplements when you have fibroids? No, because your gut's backed up. That needs to be addressed first before you buy all these supplements, but that's a whole other conversation, okay? So what are we leaving behind in 2025? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Mrs. Sweetie. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope that you're doing amazing. What are we leaving behind in 2025? I talk about random detoxes, hoping that your diet will fix everything, okay? I need your help, please. You're in the right place. Teach. We teaching today. I told you guys, pull up a chair, get your notepad. We teaching today. And also, too, if you're watching from TikTok, you need to be subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can watch this on replay. Watch it on replay. Okay? But it's more powerful when you're live, but you can watch it again later. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the link in my bios. Make sure that you're subscribed because TikTok, they talking about shutting it down, I heard, on the 20-something. Listen, I don't care. They can take it. Okay? But I'll always be on YouTube. So make sure that you're also subscribed to my YouTube channel. All right. So you think a lot of people have told me, and I told you I did call consultation calls this month. I had people, I was telling people my stories, DM me, what are you doing to get rid of your fibroids? And I'm telling you what people are saying, what's not working. We're gonna talk about what does work, but let's talk about what's not going to work and what we need to leave behind in 2025. Okay? Whew, hoping your diet will fix everything. First of all, let me just say this. I taught a class yesterday in the sacred womb, the womb sacred codes. If you're on subscribe to the sacred womb letters, first of all, thank you for being a subscriber, but you can subscribe by clicking the link in my bio. Now I have a subscription where you pay, what is it, like $22 a month, and you get deeper healing and deeper frameworks and more information, right? The stuff that I don't put on the free platform. So if you're not subscribed, it's $22 a month, y'all. I taught a class yesterday, literally designing your womb healing diet for 2026. Because a lot of you guys think that, oh, I just take out meat and I'm fine, or I just stop eating soy. It's more than that. So I actually taught a class that's almost 40 minutes long on how to design your womb healing diet. If you're not eating a womb healing, I didn't say healthy, because what y'all think is healthy, a lot of times it's not even healthy. What society would deem as healthy is not even healthy a lot of the times, especially if you're in the States. You can forget it, right? So I did a class to really teach, and it was so good. The women enjoyed it so much. So if you haven't, if you can access the replay if you subscribe for $22, and also our other teachings, okay? FYI. All right, so my mom wants to do surgery. I'm trying to convince her the holistic way is better. But you know what? I'm be honest with you. Sometimes we can't convince the people that we love. We got to convince ourselves and do the work. I'm saying that with love. Because a lot of you have endometriosis, no fibroids. You're still in the right place, because I help women get rid of endometriosis too, okay? But you can still learn from this. I want to say this. A lot of times we want to save everybody, and I get it. I had to learn from that too. You save yourself first, do the work first, and then they will do it. And then they will come along. Even if you don't have fibroids, there's work that you can do. And then a lot of times people around you will also mimic that. I would love to conceive. I have endometriosis as well. Cash flow, you're in the right place. If you guys been following my email list, if you're not subscribed to my email, subscribe. We had 2 women. As a matter of fact, one in my family, okay? So really 3, but 2 women that have worked with me in my Detoxify Your Womb program that not only conceived, they had their babies this year. I'm so proud of that. And that's just the women that I know about that came back and told me, okay? That's just the ones that I know about. We've had many women over the years conceive naturally, but 2, I know for sure it's 2 in 2025. And from my family, it was 1 who had PCOS that I helped, okay? So I'm so proud of that. So we have beautiful babies, beautiful, healthy babies. These are women that had struggled with fertility for years. These are women that really thought that they was never going to be able to have a baby. These are both their first babies, by the way. One is 40, okay? Now let's get back to the teachings. So what are we leaving behind in 2025? What else? The yoni steaming. I'm not saying not to do that, but thinking that that's going to get rid of the fibroid. I'm not saying don't yoni steam. I'm not saying don't do acupuncture, but thinking that's going to get rid of the fibroid. These are good practices to have, just, to improve your health, to feel better, but they're not going to help you get rid of a tumor. Also, taking birth control, that needs to be left in 2025. I was so shocked that people still think in 2025, we're almost in 2026, that you can shrink a fibroid by birth control. So who is lying to y'all? Your doctors are still lying to you guys and telling you this stuff. Birth control that literally suppresses your own natural hormones in your ovulation and literally infuses your body with synthetic fake hormones. You guys think that that's going to heal you? Don't get me started on how that's destroying literally not only your wombs, your health. Get off the birth control. I had to say that message tonight. That could save a life. I know every time I say that, somebody gets off the birth control. I'm literally trying to save your life. If you're on birth control, listen, if you read the side effect list and all of these health conditions women are coming down with on the birth control, you'll be shocked. But anyway, moving along. Another thing that you need to leave behind in 2025 is thinking that these fibroids will go away on their own. If you're not doing anything to get rid of your fibroids and you are suffering with fibroids, like it's like you're just frozen and you're not doing anything. Like they're just gonna grow bigger, right? They're just gonna multiply, right? You know that, right? So you need to leave that behind, not doing anything. If you're not doing anything to get rid of your fibroids, you're in a bad shape because your situation is just going to get worse and you're wasting years of suffering. You're going to look back on these years that you've had with fibroids and you're going to see years of of heavy bleeding, of canceling trips, canceling so many events because you're bleeding heavily, being confined to your house, having your fibroid press on your uterus. A lot of you guys have fibroids pressing on your uterus. You have what they call the fibroid belly, so you can't even wear what you want to wear. You have all of these symptoms. You're going to look back on your life. How many years did I waste suffering with fibroids? How many years did I waste uncomfortable in my own body, not even confident in my own body, not even living life to the fullest, not even operating at half of my capacity? You're going to look back and see how many years did you waste. So I asked you today, how many years have you wasted with fibroids? And I'm not telling you this to be insensitive, because I wasted years with fibroids. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Not when it's something that you can control, and you can't control it. You cannot tell me. If you're watching this right now, you should know. Because some people will say, well, you can't help having fibroids. That's a damn lie. The system wants you to think that your health is out of your control. Let me say that again. The system wants you to think that your health is out of your control, so you can rely on them for the rest of your life. So you can become a lifetime customer, right? You can stay sick. Don't believe that. Don't believe that damn lie, okay? 𝐢𝐳𝐬𝐬 gave me a yeast infection. Don't get me started with the steaming. But people swear on that. I'm not saying it's bad. If it works for you, it works for you, but it's not going to get rid of your fibroid. I'll tell you that right now. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. 𝐢𝐳𝐬𝐬 is not doing that for you, okay? Some people enjoy it. That's totally fine, okay? So I'm not saying that these healthy remedies are useless. I'm saying that they're incomplete. They're incomplete. And if you're watching from TikTok, don't forget, our goal is 15,000 likes. YouTube, click the like button, click the thumbs up button. It's 21 of y'all in here and only 3 likes. That's a problem. Click the thumbs up button. Okay, so you need a framework. You need a system, not random hacks. That's why I don't come on here with random hacks. Hey, try this. No, you need a system. You need a framework. You need something that's going to get to the root cause of the problem. That's going to get to the root of why your body developed fibroids in the first place. Why your body developed the endometriosis in the first place. Hey, 𝐷𝐼𝐴, Happy New Year. Happy New Year's Eve. Fibroids, you got to get to the root cause of the problem, right? And you have to understand that that's going to help you address the entire body. When you have fibroids, that's a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue. It's a full body issue, okay? It's not just a uterine issue. A lot of you guys are just focused on the fibroid and you're not seeing the full picture. That's the problem. That's the problem. You're just seeing the tumors, but you're not seeing what caused the tumors. And that's what you need to focus on. What's actually causing the tumors? Your hormones being out of balance, your lymphatic system being congested, right? Your elimination organs being overloaded, from the liver to the kidneys to your gut. All of these systems in your body being overloaded, right? It's not just your uterus. It's your full body issue. This is why when you have fibroids, when you continue on with fibroids, you notice that it impacts your health. But you may not relate it, your heart issues or your gut issues to your fibroids, but guess what? They're all related. Your body works as a whole, huh? Your body works as a whole, okay? So let's talk about what does work. Make sure that y'all tap. Can we get to 5,000 likes? Well, we're going to get to 15 by the end, but let's get to at least 5,000 right now. Let's tap. If you're watching from YouTube, be sure to tap the screen. So let's talk about what does work. What does work? What can we start doing in 2026 to actually move the needle and get rid of these damn fibroids? Some of you guys have been dealing with fibroids for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I've had people say that they've been dealing with fibroids for 40 years. They don't go away on their own. They do not go. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. You cannot skip that work. You have to stop settling for just feeling better in the moment. You got to stop and start thinking about your health long term. If you have fibroids, that's your body's, your body's signal, your engine light going off, like, hello, help, we need help. So when you just ignore that and not do anything about it, things get worse. This is why your fibroids will be 3 centimeters one day, and then the next few months later or a year later, it's 7 centimeters, it's 8 centimeters, it's 2 of them, and they just start growing and growing and growing. You have to do the work. You can't skip that work, okay? So you got to get to the root cause of what's really going on in your body. So we got to start in 2026, in order to get rid of fibroids, we got to start restoring our hormonal balance. When you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance. It is not just your it's not just your estrogen levels. It's not just your progesterone. Your hormones are out of balance. If you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance. Your body is like your hormones are out of balance. Your body's out of sync. Okay? This is why your hormone levels are chaotic. You have breast tenderness, you got heavy bleeding, you have clots, you have all of these issues. A lot of you guys feel tired all the time, anemia. Your hormones are jacked up. You cannot develop fibroids with healthy hormones. It's impossible. I don't care what your doctor says. They're not looking deep enough. You need to stop believing the symptoms that your body is showing you and stop believing these outdated tests that you're taking in the doctor's office. These outdated tests that don't dig deep enough. Do your research, okay? By the way, but you gotta restore your hormonal balance, okay? You have to start also to releasing the toxic buildup in your body. If you have fibroids, the liver is overloaded, the gut is overloaded. So we have to start supporting these systems in our body. The lymphatic system is overloaded. This is why you have the skin issues. This is the skin issues. This is why you have the heavy bleeding, the breast tenderness. You know, your insomnia, right? All of these symptoms, these hormonal symptoms. These are your body. You have to understand, your body is so intelligent. It shows you these symptoms to get your attention, and the symptoms get louder when you ignore them. They get louder and louder and louder when you continue to ignore them. Okay, so you have to like improve the health. You have to understand, when we talk about fibroids, we're improving the health of our body. When we're getting rid of fibroids, we're not just focusing on the tumors. We're improving the health of our entire body. This is why when women work with me, when women are healing their fibroids, when they're healing their wombs, they don't just have better periods. They don't just shrink and dissolve their fibroids. They're noticing, and their energy is better. They're noticing that their mood is better. They're noticing that their confidence, their feminine confidence is better. They feel more in alignment with their bodies. Their symptoms all start completely dissolving. From the heavy bleeding, the periods get better. They start to feel happier because, again, if the gut is backed up, that's going to affect the anxiety, depression as well. This is why a lot of you guys have anxiety and depression. Again, that gut is backed up. It's not healthy. So we're improving the health of our entire body. How can we sit in this world and actually, a lot of you guys you have amazing careers. You have, you have an amazing support system. You have friendships. You have, you're in amazing relationships, whatever, right? You take care of your family, whatever. How can you be able to operate in the world at your full capacity if you have fibroids dragging you down? Literally. If you have fibroids, you cannot even operate at your full capacity as a woman. You can't when you have fibroids. You can't. Been there. You can't. It's pulling you back. Unless we didn't even address the emotional burden of fibroids. And we didn't even address what fibroids actually mean on an energetic level. And what actually that means, that our wombs are not just riddled with fibroids, they're also riddled with all of this emotional trauma. When we have fibroids, it indicates it's far deeper than just the physical. It's also the emotional as well. That's also the work that you got to do. We're going to talk about that. So for real, fibroids are a nuisance. I've been crying for many years. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You don't have to, you know what? You don't have to cry anymore. But you know why? And if you guys have been suffering with fibroids, you don't have to live in misery anymore. Your body, you can actually leave this live stream feeling a sense of happiness because you can control it. You know that, okay, I can actually get rid of my fibroids. There's control there, right? You have control over your own body. Your body is a self-healing mechanism. It's a powerful self-healing mechanism that can heal naturally. But you got to get out of your body's way. You got to create the internal environment so your body can do its job. Okay? So you don't have to cry anymore. And I get it. I was there. Fibroids are more than, they're not even, a nuisance will be putting it mildly. Right? They're more than that. They're literally emotional burdens. They take over your entire life. Your romantic life, your social life, a lot of times, because you have to cancel things because you have to stay in the house because of fibroids, you're bleeding half to death. Your sense of well-being, your confidence as a woman, because you feel sometimes a lot of times when women have fibroids, they feel as though they're less than a woman. A lot of times, right? It takes over your fertility. So much. It takes so much, but you can't allow it to do that. You can't allow fibroids to have that much control over you. You have to get control over it and get rid of them. That's what you got to do. Or the other option is just suffering. And I know if you're watching me, that's not an option for you. I know if you're watching this, that's not an option for you. Okay. So what else do we have to do to get rid of these fibroids? We have to stabilize the nervous system. When you have fibroids, your body's in fight or flight mode. When you're dealing with fibroids, you're also dealing with high cortisol levels. You're dealing with dysregulated insulin levels. Yes, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, what? My doctor didn't tell me that. Yes, because fibroids cannot develop in the body without these things. And if you've been in any of my master classes, you know we get into it. I break that down for you, right? I'm gonna answer the questions in a second. So true. Everywhere I go, they ask me what I'm having. They think I'm pregnant. Yeah, Visa. When it comes to fibroids, when they start enlarging the uterus, when they start growing, you start to look pregnant. Absolutely. Been there. What do you do? What are you having? People know they're not supposed to be asking that type of question unless you tell them you're pregnant, but they still do. And it don't mean any harm, but it could really take a toll on your confidence as a woman. You gotta sit there and, you can't even wear the clothes you want to wear. You can't even wear your bikini, because you look pregnant when you have fibroids, and you're not pregnant. But you have this tumor that's just growing and growing and growing, and it's literally taking over your body. You can't allow that to happen. You can't allow that to happen, okay? So you got to stabilize the nervous system, right? So your body can move out of survival mode. A lot of you guys have been living in survival mode for many years. And because you grew up in it, because you're so used to the trauma, you start to normalize it, right? And survival mode is not just about money. It's about always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You always thinking about the bad case scenario. You're always in anxiety. You're always anxious, right? It's hard for you to just relax. It's hard for you to relax. You're always just waiting because you're so used to that happening in your life. You're so used to bad things happening to you in life, things going bad, things going terribly that you can't even just sit in happiness, right? And also too, there's a hormonal aspect to that, because if you have hormonal imbalances, of course, you're going to have more anxiety, because your hormones even affect your brain chemistry, your brain activity as well. They affect all of your bodily functions. So the hormones are off. As a woman, you're off. If your hormones are out of balance, I say this in almost every live stream, you are out of balance as a woman. If your hormones are out of balance, you are out of balance as a woman. Okay? So you have to stabilize the nervous system. Okay? Somebody asked, how can I dissolve my fibroids? I work with clients to do that. And for those, I'm saying this for those that want to work with me, we are starting our 3-month intensive tomorrow. This is for women that want to do the deep work. Before we get to the rest of them, let me just say that real quick. Shameless plug. For women that want to deeply work, that want to do the deep work of womb healing in 2026, the first 3 months of the year, the first quarter of 2026, I'm working with women to completely heal their wombs. Okay? So if you are interested, the link is in my bio for all the information. Okay? And someone said how much? It's $5,000 to work with me on a one-on-one basis. This is our high-level program. And some people will say, well, it's so much money. How much does it take to keep, how much does it cost to keep the fibroids? The doctor's visits, the surgeries that you're having, all of that stuff costs. So $5,000 that will yield you, lifetime value. Okay? You can deposit, you can do a payment plan and deposit, $997 that's due before tomorrow. That's due before midnight. Okay? And then the next payment will be on the 16th. That's for those that want to work with me on a one-on-one basis. Now, if you want to we have a self-study course called the Advanced Fibroid Healing Vaults, Mastery Vaults. People have been applying for, enrolling in that for you to go through. It literally gives you the full system, the one that's helped my clients get rid of fibroids. It gives you the full system on getting rid of fibroids. And it yields also high impact results when you do the work, right? So it's all about, do you want to work with me or do you want to do this on your own and have guidance? So pick one. The fiber, and you get lifetime access to the Advanced Fibroid Healing Mastery System, Mastery Vaults. That's $500, okay? The link is in my bio. And we have Klarna Afterpay and Affirm to help with payments for those that are interested. Now, Let's get to the rest of the topic. For those that want to work with me, for those that are like, listen, 2025 is the last year I'm dealing with fibroids. For those that want to skyrocket their success and need the guidance, is there. Okay? And you can look at we had clients get rid of 13 fibroids in 6 months. One shrunk their fibroids 4 centimeters in 2 months. We had several clients get pregnant. 2 clients get pregnant this year and had their babies this year. Okay? We've had women get rid of a full fibroid belly within a month, and we had the testimonials to prove them. Check out my page if you're watching from TikTok. If you're watching from YouTube, check out our shorts, okay, for more information about our testimonials. I've tried everything to shrink my large fibroids and nothing helped. Amanda V, you're in the right live stream. I'm going to ask you, what have you tried? Because a lot of people have said they've tried everything, and when they tell me they tried everything, you should, okay. Amanda V, be sure to click the subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch the beginning of this live. You've probably tried the supplements. You've probably tried the teas. You've probably tried the cleansing. You've probably tried the herbs. That's not going to get rid of a large fibroid. That's not going to get rid of a tumor in your body. So when women tell me they've tried everything, it's these random natural remedies. None of it is getting to the root cause of the problem. That's the problem. That's why it's not working for you. I started eating a plant-based diet. How can we eat plant-based foods and not lose too much weight? So I did it. Listen, I did a whole training yesterday called Design Your Womb Healing Diet in 2026. If you subscribe to our Sacred Womb letters, okay, and you join the paid community, it's only $22 a month, you will see the whole entire class, okay? So, because I'm not, I taught a 40-minute class on that yesterday, okay? So, I just had the laparoscopic, I think that's what you mean, or found 10 centimeter fibroid, 5 centimeter fibroid. How do I fix this? By getting to the root cause of the problem. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. Okay. Okay. So let me get to what does work with getting rid of your fibroids. Okay. Make sure you guys click on the live stream, tap the screen. We have a goal for 15,000 likes. Okay. In this stream, we're only at 5,000. Okay. So I talk about stabilizing the nervous system, getting your body out of survival mode. That is so, because a lot of you guys are living in survival mode. You're constantly in survival. You're constantly bracing for the next horrible thing to happen. You're constantly anxious. You got to get your body into the parasympathetic mode, okay? So that your body can't heal when it's in a heightened state, when you're in fight or flight mode. Your body can't heal like that. So there's that. Targeted nutrition. So what does work? It's not just change. And somebody said change their diet. It's not just changing your diet. It's much more than that. I mentioned that earlier, but you do have to change your diet. And like I said, I've coined the term womb healing diet because there's a million different diets out there, right? There's millions. So it doesn't matter what diet you subscribe to. It has to be a womb healing diet. Targeted nutrition. So you have to eat a diet that's going to help you heal and not help you stay sick, okay? And that's to help you stay sick, okay? And if you're eating a diet and you're losing so much weight, you're probably doing it wrong, okay? You're probably doing it wrong. Now, you have to support, and I said this earlier, you have to support your elimination organs. If you have fibroids, the liver is overloaded. If you have the gut is overloaded, the kidneys are not filtering the way they're supposed to. Your body there's a lot of toxins in the body. Your body is accumulating toxins instead of releasing them. Our bodies are made to naturally detoxify themselves every single day. It's us that gets in our body's way of doing so, okay? It's us that gets in our body's way of these. So if you have fibroids, you've gotten in your body's way of naturally detoxifying itself every single day. You don't need to do a detox. You need to get your body to the point where it's detoxifying itself every single day. Okay, y'all following me? Okay. Make sure y'all tap in the screens as well. Tap the screens. Also, too, lymphatic support. Because if you have fibroids, you have congested lymphatic system. And if you know anything about the lymphatic system, that's like our body's cellular sewage system. Your body, you cannot be healthy and have a congested lymphatic system. It's impossible, literally. And like I always say, I see this in almost every live. When we talk about fibroids and when we talk about a couple people mentioned they have endometriosis here. When we have these issues, not only are our hormones our hormones out of balance, we have what is called estrogen dominance. The reason why estrogen dominance is so serious, because it can also lead to more serious issue. So if our bodies are in an estrogen dominant state, what does that mean? That means that we can also develop other estrogen dominant conditions. Breast cancer, uterine cancer, these things are on the rise, by the way. Women that have fibroids or endometriosis or other womb issues have more, I'm not saying you're going to develop these things, but there's more of the risk factor is higher for women that are estrogen dominant, that have the heavy bleeding, that have the fibroids, that have women talk to women that's had uterine, that have that's cancer or that struggle with breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, even cervical cancer. They've had fibroids before, ovarian cysts, PCOS, these womb issues, or these hormonal issues. I've been doing this for a long time. They go together like this. I'm not saying that you're going to get cancer. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm saying that when you have fibroids, your body's in that estrogen dominant state. We don't want to keep it there. And the thing about estrogen dominance is that you can reverse it. You can literally reverse it by balancing your hormones. That can save your life. So this when we talk about healing the womb, it's not a joke. And we're not only just talking about healing the womb, we talk about healing the body. When we talk about getting rid of fibroids, shrinking and dissolving your fibroids, we're talking about healing the body, not even just getting rid of the womb issues. The womb issues are just a byproduct of healing your body. Okay? So I want to reiterate that. Also, when we are getting rid of fibroids, right? What does work is emotional healing. This is the part a lot of women skip. They're looking for hacks. They're looking for supplements, but they're not doing when you have fibroids, you're also holding to a lot of emotional, whether it's trauma, heartbreak, grief, there's a lot of things emotionally, there's a lot of emotional baggages that you're holding on to. Unprocessed trauma, things that you haven't dealt with, unprocessed stress, that gathers in the womb on an energetic level. Okay? So that's important for you to understand and realize. Fibroids are not just physical, they're also emotional. They're also energetic. They're also very spiritual. So when we're healing fibroids, when we're getting to the root cause of the problem, we have to get to the root cause of the problem emotionally too. What are you holding on to? Now, a lot of people are so numb, they've suppressed so much that it's hard for them to tap into that. Fibroids are not just physical. Womb issues are not just physical. They're also spiritual. They're also emotional, okay? That's why when you work with me, we don't just do physical work. We do the emotional work as well. That has to be done. If you don't do that piece, you're not gonna you're not gonna see lasting results. You're not. You're gonna go back to your bad habits. I've seen it too many times. You're not going to see lasting results if you don't do the emotional work. Because there's a reason why your body's holding on to fibroids emotionally as well. Every disease has a spiritual root cause. Okay? Doctors said main options are hysterectomy and hormone suppression. I don't agree. They don't agree. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy that you're here, Louise. Are you let me know what country that you're in. Let me know. But it's crazy that they're now just giving women, when you have fibroids, they're going straight to hysterectomy. That's crazy. Some women are hearing that first before. You're in Scotland. Okay, I figured it was the UK, because when you said hormone suppression, I figured it was either the UK or Europe, somewhere in Europe, okay? I'm from Uganda. Okay. It's important that you understand fibroids is more than physical, okay? So it's important that you have to be consistent. Another problem that I'm seeing, my doctor told me my only option is myomectomy. Okay. That's not true. And when you have, let me just say this too. So I know a lot of you guys are new. There was a woman that came to me not too long ago that had 5 myomectomies and still had fibroids. She had got fibroids after each myomectomy. She had got fibroids. They regrew after each myomectomy. Myomectomy does not get to the root cause of the problem. Guess who has had one? Yes, that's why I say I had fibroids not once but twice, and they grew right back. And I went on a journey to heal my womb. And have not had fibroids since. Been healthy since. Myomectomy does not heal. As a matter of fact, and if you're in the Sacred Womb Letters, I did a write-up on are uterine surgeries healthy and what they're really doing to your body. cutting into your uterus. This is why a lot of women nowadays have uterine scarring. That's a whole other conversation, okay? Now, and that's also too causing, issues with miscarriages and, causing issues with conceiving, the uterine scarring, because that's at an all-time high. They don't tell you that when you do these, when you cut into the womb, it causes scarring. But that's a whole other conversation. Okay, so you have to understand that fibroids don't just disappear because you chose to rub oil on your belly for 3 nights. That's true. Fibroids are not going to disappear because you decided to rub castor oil on your belly. They disappear when you take care of the internal environment. When the internal environment in your body can no longer support them. The reason why your fibroids are still there, the reason why they're growing is because the internal environment in your body is allowing them to do so. So you have to this is why I say you have to get to the root cause of the problem. I always preach that. What caused the fibroids to develop? Okay? So, and for those of y'all that's gonna ask me how, get on the email list. The email list breaks that down in 7 emails over the course of a whole entire week. So make sure in 2026, get on our email list. You're gonna learn so much. And when you subscribe to our email list, you get the 7-day Fibroid Healing Truth Series. So if you're watching me from YouTube, subscribing, you can click the link in my bio. If you're watching me from, TikTok, click the link in my bio. If you're watching me from YouTube, click the link in the description box, okay? So fibroids disappear, they shrink and they dissolve when you actually get to the root cause of the problem, okay? When you actually have an environment in your body where fibroids cannot last. They can't thrive in. They can't thrive in health. They can't thrive in a healthy body. This is why people say, I'm healthy, I just had fibroids. That's a lie, because fibroids cannot thrive in a healthy body. Your standards for health is just very low. Tumors can't grow in a healthy body. They can't. And if tumors can grow in one place, they can grow in another place. This is why a lot of women that have fibroids also have cysts on their breast or develop cysts on their breast later on. You got to get your health in order. You have to address the root cause of the problem. You can't continue on this journey. And if you've been watching me for any length of time, you can't keep saying you don't know. Because I've been preaching this for how long? On these internet streets for how long? So you have to get to the root cause of the problem. This is why my clients get the results that they get. This is why I can have a client get rid of 13 fibroids. She had 15. She got rid of 13 of them in 6 months. And the 2 that was left shrunk the last time she checked. This is why my fibroids can shrink their fibroids 4 centimeters in just 2 months. From 7 centimeters to 3 centimeters in just 2 months. Right? This is why my client got rid of a 6-centimeter fibroid, completely dissolved it in just, 3 months. We have so many testimonials within the last few months, I can't even keep up. Okay? What program do you recommend? It depends, Louise. You have to tell me more information. What's going on with your body? Do you have fibroids? How many? Are they large? If your fibroids are over 8 centimeters, you have several fibroids. If you want to work with me on the highest level, the 3-month intensive. And today's the deadline. We start tomorrow. Midnight's the deadline to jump in. We literally start tomorrow. For those that want to work with me on a high level, for the 3-month intensive, that's the highest level to work with me. You have to be ready. You have to be serious about 2025 being the last year you deal with fibroids. I'm only working. Yeah, you can drop me a DM. You can drop me a DM. For those of you that don't want to ask the question on here as far as the programs and the courses, you can drop me a DM, okay? Or you can, if you're watching from YouTube, email me, okay? Today's the last day. No problem. Just don't forget. We don't want to go into the new year with no plan. A lot of you guys are about to go into this new year with no plan on how to get rid of your fibroids, but you're telling yourself, my fibroids, I want to get rid of fibroids in 2026. What's the plan? I'm asking you. So, the 3 things that you must do the first 3 months of 2026, let's talk about it, okay? I'm interested. Can I DM you? Yes. And before you DM me, click the link in my bio. Look at what we have available before you DM me, okay? So you can have more of an idea. We have our descriptions for our program in the link in my bio. Okay, so the 3 things that you must consider in 2026, the 3 actions that you must put into place. You got to stabilize your internal environment. That's number 1. I want y'all to stop just hyper-focusing on only the fibroid and hyper-focus on the environment in your body that's causing the fibroid to thrive and to grow, okay? So your job is to stabilize. Start working on lowering those cortisol levels. Work on your stress management. Work on your blood sugar so that we can stop feeding these fibroids. Start supporting the lymphatic system, the liver, the kidney. Start supporting, stop doing actions that put these, that clog up your system. You know, a lot of you guys know a lot of the things that you're doing is actually hindering your health instead of improving your health. So we have to cut those things off in 2026. If we're serious about healing our fibroids, we got to cut those things off. I didn't say do things in moderation. I said cut them off in 2026. Because if you have a large fibroid, you don't have time to play around. If you watch me, you have a fibroid over 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters. Some of you guys have 10 centimeters, 20 centimeter fibroids. You don't have time to continue playing around. I know, because I was there. You don't have time. So you have to take action. And when I say take action, take massive action. Not just be playing around with, oh, I'm just, take out the meat and do a little something just to work on my diet. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. Okay? And TikTok, I said that we supposed to get to 15,000 likes. We're not even close. What's going on, TikTok? Okay, tap on the screen. YouTube, click on the thumbs up button. All right. You got to address your emotional and energetic blocks if you have fibroids. Okay? Thank you, Miss Tweety. Y'all, come on. Help Mrs. Tweety out. Tap on that screen. Tap on the screen. Okay? Your doctor's not even giving you this information, like I always say. Okay? Tap on that screen so more women can jump on. You got to address your energetic blocks. You got to address your emotional blocks. Because like I said earlier, if you have fibroids, it's not just physical. It's also emotional. It's also energetic. Your womb is more than a physical organ. That's your sacred feminine center. If something's wrong with the womb, right? What are we holding on to? If there's an issue with the womb, that's also an emotional, energetic block there. So your womb also, when you're holding on to, your childhood trauma, heartbreak, anger, resentment, that affects the womb. Fear, anxiety, right? Unprocessed trauma, the things that you haven't dealt with, the things that you're suppressing, whether you're suppressing these things or some of you guys you're holding on to them. The body keeps score. The body keeps score. Your body's not just a physical organ, it's also an energetic organ. Excuse me, your body's not just physical, it's also energetic. You're also an energetic being, okay? So you have to start releasing those. You have to start processing those emotional blocks, those energetic blocks. That's what I help my clients with, as well as the physical. You got to bridge both and do the work. That's how you do the real work. You can't just say, I'm going to just change my diet and, take a supplement and everything's going to be okay. No. Stop trying to bypass the real work. Okay? If you don't get to the root cause of the problem, if you don't do the real work, if you don't get your body out of a state of holding on to trauma, holding on to emotional blocks, your body will keep creating and developing the fibroids. It will keep growing the fibroids. Okay? So this is not just physical work, it's also emotional work as well. So this is what majority of fibroid healing protocols, this is what majority of them skip. Majority of them skip the emotional side, the emotional healing, the emotional part. Majority of them. Okay? So you have to understand, listen, we gotta get to the root cause of the problem. The root cause is not just physical, it's also emotional. What are we holding on to? The trauma, the anger. What are we holding on to? Ask yourself this: heartbreak, divorces, whatever. Abandonment, rejection. What are we holding on to? What haven't we processed? What have we suppressed? These are deeper questions to ask yourself. We cannot take this energy into 2026. We can't take this energy in a new year. We just can't. We can't. It's going to hold you back from your true purpose. It's going to hold you back from truly healing. Okay? So I'm going to say this too. A lot of us, I didn't say everybody, but majority of you are going to have to get support and guidance to heal. I'm not telling you this so you can work with me, right? Because I don't even accept everybody to work with me. Okay? You got to be ready. But you have to understand that, listen, we're talking about, hold on, it tells me to do this when I've been on here for an hour. And we're going to do a Q&A at the end, okay? And if you guys are coming in, be sure to also subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to have the full replay on the YouTube channel. So you can watch this again and watch it again, okay? Getting support and guidance. That's why I have my 3-month intensive open. Here's the truth. Some of you guys can maybe try to do this on your own. I'm seeing that again, I told you guys I did consultation calls this month. I did, we're not doing any for January, so don't ask me. But we did them for December, right? And I also told you guys to hop in my DMs to tell me what's really going on. What's stopping you from healing? What are you actually doing to heal your womb, right? And a lot of women have been trying to get rid of fibroids for years. They've been going from one remedy to the next remedy. Somebody just put on here, I tried everything to heal. I've been having large fibroids. I tried everything to heal. And as you're trying everything to heal, your fibroids are just growing and growing and growing because you're not getting to the root cause of the problem. So you can try to DIY your healing, but if it's not working, and if you're serious about healing, why not get support? Right? Even if it's not me, even if it's somebody else, why not get support? Why not get guidance? We're talking about not just healing your womb. We're talking about healing your body here. So why not get support? Right? So a lot of women who DIY their healing, you guys try to do it their own. They're overwhelmed by conflicting information. This is the feedback that I'm getting from people. They're overwhelmed by conflicting information. They're trying to piece together these YouTube videos and these TikTok videos and try to do it themselves. They're overwhelmed because everybody's saying something different. That's not how you heal, by the way. They're inconsistent because life gets in the way. They have no support or guidance, so they would do a little something for 2 weeks and then they fall off. They do a little something for 2 weeks and then they fall off. First of all, if you're working with me, I prepare you for when life happens. That's number one. And I don't allow you to fall off. That's number two. Now, they give up after 3 to 4 weeks of not getting results. So if you're dealing with fibroids, you have all of these symptoms and you're not getting results, you just give up. This is why women are who've been trying to DIY their healing. They have no support. They have no frameworks. They're just trying to piece together free information and see what works. That's not going to, for majority of you guys, it's not going to work. And if you have large fibroids or calcified fibroids, it's time. You got to get real with yourself. You have to have a conversation with yourself. Can I continue down this path of suffering alone or trying to piece together? Like, you have to be real with yourself. And a lot of you guys, y'all are smart. When it comes to work, you have successful careers. You have a successful life, right? Is the only thing that getting in your way of living the fullness of your life is these fibroids. The only thing. So if this problem was solved, this will improve so many different areas of your life. Some of you guys know that. So why are you allowing this one thing to get in the way of you living life to your fullest? Why? Why? Why are you allowing this one thing that's so important to get in the way of you living life to your fullest? Right? So you may feel as though, well, I'm healthy. I get my lymphatic massages and I get my, my facials and I get my filler or Botox, whatever y'all be doing these days, right? And I work out at the gym. That's not getting rid of your fibroids. That's great. Don't get me wrong. That's great and all. But what are we doing to actually get to the root cause and heal our fibroids? You put everything above your womb. Everything comes with your sacred. But here's the thing: when you heal your womb, you heal so many different areas of your life. You improve so many different areas of your life just by doing that one thing. That's your sacred feminine. And if your womb is out of alignment, you will be out of alignment. Everything in my life seems to be working except my womb. Listen, and that's most important because that amplifies everything. That amplifies everything. A lot of you guys, you won't find your purpose until you heal your womb. A lot of you guys, you won't find, don't get me started. I had to tell one client, she said, you're absolutely right. You're not gonna find the love of your life because you're energetically holding on to these fibroids because you haven't healed your womb. And that message is not for everybody, but that's for some of y'all. And I had a client confirm, she was like, you're right. You're right. Once you heal your womb, life opens up in so many different areas. In so many different areas. So, listen, you don't want to spend another year in 2026 researching your life away and not actually healing. Researching here, you're piecing random remedies together and not actually healing. You're trying acupuncture. You're trying fasting. You're trying yoni steaming. You're trying this. You're trying that. None of it is getting to the root cause of the problem and doing the real work. You're trying everything but what works. Why would you continue wasting your time in doing that? I say all that to say. Okay? So let's do a little Q&A. But I want to say this because I know that some of you guys are watching that this is the last day of 2025. Okay? 2025, good riddance. 2025 was a year, okay? Good riddance 2025. We're about to walk into a new dimension. The first year of the second quarter of the 21st century. This is deeper than just a new year. We're about to walk into the second quarter of the 21st century. We done after today with the first quarter of the 21st century. We're about to walk into the second quarter. So this is a whole new timeline, a whole new dimension, a whole new frequency. You cannot walk in. You cannot live life like you did in 2025. I think you're going to succeed in 2026. You have to walk in with a new attitude. You have to walk in with a higher purpose and be crystal clear on what you're trying to get rid of and what you're trying to leave behind this year. That's why I'm doing this live stream. So I say all that to say, for those of you that are sure and you're positive that, listen, Sasha, I cannot go into 2026 with no plan to get rid of these fibroids. Okay? And let's say you're not ready to work with me for 3 months in a 3-month intensive, we have the Advanced Fibroid Healing Vault. And that's going into retirement. If you've been in my email list, if you've been following me, I told you guys, that's going into retirement after today. At midnight. Literally. Okay? Because that's been available since Thanksgiving week. At midnight, that's going into retirement. That is literally the self-paced version of the full fibroid healing framework. Everything you need is there to get rid of your fibroids. We have so many different trainings. And if you want more information on the vault, the Advanced Fibroid Healing Mastery Vault, the link is in my bio. If you want more information about it, if you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box. But if people have been running to get that vault all month, if you haven't got it if you're not signing up to work with me, you're missing out. You're missing out. Get it, because if you purchase it today, you get it today. And you can go into 2026 knowing you have a plan instead of going into 2026 in fear of what to do about these damn fibroids or trying to piece together all this information that you're seeing online. Like, that has to stop, okay? I have a 13 centimeter fibroid and 6 weeks pregnant. 6 weeks, 2 pregnant. Glory to God. I'm not sure what you're saying. Socrat? I'm not sure even how to say your name. I'm not sure what you mean. But anyway, any questions before we get started? Before we end the live, any questions? Any questions? I hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. And if you guys did not watch the full live stream, the link is in my description box to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe because it's there, okay? Do we have any questions? Be sure rewrite what you meant, because I can't understand what you was trying to say. So crap. You're welcome. You're welcome. So no questions. We good. No questions. And if you guys want to know what program or what course do you guys need based on your symptoms, based on your diagnosis, send me an email or send me a DM on TikTok. Or you can, if you watch from YouTube, send me an email. My email's in the link in my description box. My email's in the description box, okay? Sasha Rosa at Majestic Health Services. Hold on. Sasha Rosa at MajesticHealthServices.com. This is my testimony, okay? Can you rewrite it? I'm not understanding. All right, we're gonna go. Can you combine your program with the surgery? What's your opinion? Louise, great question. That's crazy because nobody's ever asked that question before. Absolutely not. Now, let me say this. Can you? Yeah, but I would not recommend that. I would recommend take my program and heal your body. Why do you need surgery? You don't need surgery. It's gonna push you backwards because then we have to heal. Like, it's a lot. Use the program to heal your body so you don't need to be cut open. Because then we have to deal with uterine scarring and all this other stuff. The best way is to use it to heal your womb. And if you think that your fibroids are too big and you can't heal, that's not true. Look, my client had this, I don't know what the size of her actual fibroid, but she had this large fibroid that literally made her go to my pin post. You're gonna see her stomach. It literally made her look pregnant. 8 to 9 months pregnant. And within a month, that decreased so much. Her fibroid belly decreased so much within a month of working with me. She worked with me in the 6-week program. That's available as well. The link is in my bio. The 6-week womb healing experience. And when she showed me that before and after picture, and you could see her video testimonial as well. When she showed me that before and after picture, that was 4 weeks of working with me. She sent me that 4 weeks. I was shocked. Okay? Her stomach was so hard. And literally, she was like, her fibroid was so big, she could barely breathe. Like, it was that bad. Large fibroids. But she came in the program like she was ready to heal. She wasn't playing. She dived in and was like, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. She was from the UK. Shout out to her. Shout out to Anne. Okay? Shout out to Anne. You can see her video testimonial in my pin post on TikTok. Okay? Any other questions before we go? I hope that y'all enjoyed today's live stream. I hope that you guys got a lot out of this live stream. If you didn't watch the full live stream, be sure to click the link in my bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can watch the full live stream. It's in the live stream section. TikTok, any day down. I think the 20-something, they talk about banning TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? You're welcome, Louise. And also subscribe to my email list so you don't have to worry about me not being on TikTok no more, because they can take TikTok. They can really take TikTok away. I really don't care. I don't care. But, some people for the ones that have found me on here, be sure that you stay in our community, right? So you're not out here by yourself struggling, thinking you're the only one dealing with it. So you actually can learn, okay? All right, ladies. For those that they want the full framework of how to get rid of fibroids, and they're serious about getting rid of fibroids this 2026, the Advanced Fibroid Healing Mastery Vault, the link is in my bio. If you watch from TikTok, the link is in my description box if you're watching from YouTube, okay? That's all, folks. That's all I got for you. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the last day of the year. And you go into 2026 with a new attitude, with a renewed mind, and with hope and knowing that this will be the year that you get rid of your fibroids. And go into 2026 with a plan. Not just, I'm going to wing it. No. With an actual plan. And stick to it. All right? I love y'all. Bye. Bye, TikTok.